Hey guys, hopefully you're having a great day, night, or evening. Before we get into the video, I updated a few softwares here, so let me know if my microphone sounds better, worse, just so on and so forth. But let's get into it. Today we're going in right into Call of Duty Black Ops 6, the Tomb map. I personally only ran this map maybe twice, and I have a few reasons why. Now, I'm gonna say that this map off the bat is exactly kind of what I expected in size. Do I wish it was bigger? Yeah, but I think a lot of other people wish it was bigger too. There's nothing you can do about that though. We were told what we were getting and we got exactly that, so I'm not disappointed in it. I do wish it was bigger, like I said before, but we got exactly what we were told we were gonna get. They saw how much people were playing Liberty Falls over everything else, and it, obviously showed map size only matters so much, At least that's what they got from it. I don't think Citadel was really too much bigger than Liberty Falls either. I think they were about the same size. They looked about the same size, so it looks like we're on a spree of generally pretty small maps. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan. I like a very large map. I like it to have a lot of stuff to have to discover throughout it, figure out what to do and all of that, but to each their own. Some people love the small size maps, and I am not a bigger fan of that. I like the larger size maps, such as Moon. That's what I think of as a big map. Origins, huge freaking map, so on and so forth. You could go down the list and find all these big, ginormous maps. Shadows of Evil even, Der Eisendrock, this map is definitely smaller than that. But at the same time, how they're presenting it, to me at least, is that they're going to be coming out with more than 4 maps this year. If I'm wrong, then this was honestly my opinion will completely change about a lot of things. But if we're getting more than 4 maps this year as DLCs, and we're getting like quite a few maps, well then this can fit in the aisle of Liberty Falls. So I'm going to be doing a lot of comparisons to Liberty Falls in this aspect, because you can't really compare it to Terminus. Terminus is a huge freaking map. Like, the thing has islands and all of that. It has boats to get around. It's a huge freaking map. Wonder Weapon was mid. Huge map though. So we're going to base and compare a lot of this to Liberty Falls. Now, this map itself, the aura in it, the look in it, totally badass. Everything about this. I mean, going to the teleporter. Tell me that doesn't look cool when you're inside of that. You literally see the arches that you saw in Origins so many years ago. Why they didn't put more than 1 staff in here, I don't have an answer for. They really should have. Me playing it 2 times isn't exactly a very good, representation of the map being a great map. I think it looks great. The feel is very different. 1, there's way too many bosses on this map. There shouldn't have been more than 2 max. Really 1, in my opinion. It's too small of a map. Now, I know you're gonna say Liberty Balls had an Abomination and Brutus, or whatever you want to call it, Mangler. Yeah, you're right, and I think those fit the map because of the speed of what a Mangler is, and Abomination doesn't start really running at you until you can notice it. This, you have the Mimics. The Mimics just start sprinting at you full speed, like it's ready to knife you down, like it's a deer who just noticed a tarantula the size of King Kong coming at it. And that's kind of the problem here, is there's not enough room for those creatures. You can't really dodge them, and if you don't have Jug, you're fucked. You're screwed. There's no winning for you. There's no getting away from anything for you. Now, they brought back the 3-headed, 6-headed, 7-headed monsters as well. I don't know why they're here. That made no sense to me. I really personally think that the Screamer Boys over from Citadel and the Manglers, or not the Manglers, the Mimics were more than enough. Unfortunately for COD, they apparently did not. This has 3 monsters in here. Terminus doesn't have 3 monsters in it. Not even Citadel has 3 monsters. In my opinion, get rid of one of these monsters. What are you doing? They can really destroy a map experience for you fully. 100%, without a doubt. Fully destroy. And that's kind of like where I'm coming from here. Now, the map isn't necessarily hard, I'd say. I mean, I did go down a fair amount in the beginning, but I've also only played this map 2 times. So until I really get used to a map, I kind of, have a solid 50-50 chance of going down or not. I also play a lot of tower maps and zombies in general, so for me to be really going down in a map kind of like this is kind of even a surprise to me, but a lot of it happened because of the Mimics. Now, the Mimics do exactly what they do perfectly, though. They got me quite a few times with being on the ground. I would be like, oh my god, there's a freaking Pack-a-Punch crystal right there. Let me go up to it. I'd go up to it, be like, why can't it give me the pack, but why am I not? Oh, and it's a fucking Mimic. and then I just get my ass eaten real quick, and if I survived, died, it was up to God at that point. I don't know. Overall, the bosses, way too many. They need to take one of them out, in my opinion, and I don't know if it's a hard thing to do, easy thing to do, but they need to take one of them out. The ray gun just isn't enough, and there's really only one ice staff guaranteed, and you have to then hope and pray on the box that you can even get another one, unless you have a wonder bar. Then you're in a different situation, but that's a wonder bar. That's not, you know, that's something that you have to work towards leveling up and all that shit to even get. Me and my buddy literally tried to do this with another one of my friends. We were in the middle of doing the Easter egg because the Easter egg was pretty straightforward to get to, just to find out the boss room requires you to have actual weapons. Now, tell me, why the fuck would you put an ice staff in this game if you were going to force us to have to use actual machine guns and shotguns on a floating fucking mirror to defeat it? It makes no sense. That's stupid as shit. Cousin was telling me about how you needed to use only bullet damage. It confused me a lot. I didn't believe him at first. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't believe him at first. I was very confused. I was like, what do you mean? We have these ice staffs, you can't use any of those. It has this fucking, you know, effect where it just freezes everything around you. Nope, just brute bullet damage. It's not even like a sophisticated boss fight at all. There's no thought process into it, it seems. This in basic terms is like a really bad boss fight build. It's a horrible boss fight build. I didn't like it at all. We unfortunately didn't get to pass it right when we even attempted it for the first try because we didn't know this. We ended up just going back to custom zombies. Now, we'll get more into that here in a minute. The ice staff, when you first get it, all right, it's horrible. It really is. It's cheeks, it's bad, it's no good. That's because you don't have it upgraded yet. I can tell you right now, without some sort of guide or video, I would have never figured out how to upgrade the fucking ice staff to begin with. It simply wouldn't have happened. There is no way in hell I would have guessed to do these certain things in this certain fucking order to be able to have the ability to upgrade this thing. Not just that, but it's a pain in the ass to do it in the first place, especially the last step where you have to go on top of this little portal thing, this little rock, and you press square on this little purple ball. To me, that's something you do with a lightning staff. That looks like a lightning staff ball. Now, you have to follow it around, you know, and then you bring it back to where you first built the staff and you put it inside of there, and then it's all good in the hood from there, right? Yeah, I mean, the staff after that is pretty good. It's a solid staff. It's really good. And I know a majority of people's favorite staffs was the ice staff. Me, on the other hand, I really like the lightning staff. I would have liked a lightning staff in this. It would have made more sense for 2 staffs to even be in there, maybe 3 staffs. You know, the least used staff, in my opinion, was always the fire staff. No one was really fucking with that, at least in Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 2. The fire staff was actually really good. They didn't do that for one reason or another, which I still like can't wrap my mind about it. If you're gonna do an Origins themed map, put in all the staffs. That is the bare minimum. You have the DNA of everything you need. Why don't you just do it? What's the problem here? You put in about 19 different sorts of fucking bosses in here, and you expect really one person to have this staff. The ray gun in this game is kind of cheeks. It's alright at best, and it barely does anything to half these bosses. What are we doing here, Treyarch? What's going on? The map size itself is too small to only be rocking one person with a fucking staff at a time. The weapons simply aren't strong enough to be able to have this happen. It's not a possibility. Even though this map has a lot of aura and it has a really good theme, it lacks in a lot of the availability of things department. I'm sure maybe if you had a Dragon's Breath shotgun or something, it'd be interesting, but to be quite honest with you, I don't want to use the same loadout for every single match of zombies. I'd like to change it up. I'd like to have new things. Not just that, but I'm still unfortunately doing the fucking camo grind that is so tedious to do at this. So if I'm going to go in there, I already have the shotguns done. I don't need to continue with the shotguns, and really this map wants shotguns and close range weaponry. It's an alright map. The map look itself is brilliant. It looks really good. But the map itself and the gameplay of the map and even the replayability of the map isn't great. From my knowledge, I heard that a lot of these companies like Call of Duty want, when GTA 6 releases, to be able to up the price of their game. And if this is what they're going to put forth and bring out every year upon year and expect $100+ for it, they're sadly mistaken. I mean, the only reason I have this game is because of Xbox Game Pass. And Xbox Game Pass offers a lot more than just COD. I mean, same with PlayStation's version of Game Pass. It offers a lot more, you know, it doesn't offer Call of Duty in specific, but it offers a solid amount of games and titles. I haven't bought a Call of Duty on its own in a long time. And Black Ops 6 is one of those Call of Duties when zombies first dropped, it felt really solid, really good for the most part. At least Liberty Falls did. They kind of caught lightning in the bottle. Again, for the first time in a long time, it seemed. I also personally don't like the new point system that was in there, but, you know, that's to each their own. With these past 2 maps, the last map where they had 4 swords, which was supposed to be a replacement for the staffs, and the swords were really weak, it drew a lot of people away from the game again. And if you play on PC and you play Custom Zombies, you're going back to that. Now, the experience on Custom Zombies is so much better than any Treyarch map that has come out in years. Not only that, but the amount of maps you get per even a week to month basis is surpassing what Treyarch is even capable of as a studio in general. But you'd imagine, since whoever makes these maps for Black Ops 3 Zombies, Treyarch can use whatever the hell they want for it. They literally have the rights when you make a map. Apparently, you know, I can't 100% confirm this, but from my knowledge, to take specific things from these maps and actually be able to reuse them in any way they see fit or possible of wanting to use them. They simply haven't, though. The new ice staff is very good upgraded. I don't know how the longevity of it is over time, but for now, it's very good upgraded. I only got to like round 30 or something like that before we ended up going to the boss fight, and then we just couldn't do any damage to the boss, and we ended it. And then I went right back to Custom Zombies. I don't know what Treyarch's doing here. I'm hoping that they release another map here soon-ish that's possibly even bigger than this one. Has a little bit more oomph in the weapon combine area. You know, the combinations of what weapons you can make and what wonder weapons there are capable of. And I don't expect lightning in a bottle every time. So I'm not going to really necessarily shit on the map too much. I just think there's a lot of stuff that needed change and a lot of stuff that needed to be added for this map to be successful. I don't even know if I'm personally going to continue playing this map in the future. Maybe this 1-2 times is all I'm going to give it, because you know, like I said, I wasn't super impressed with it otherwise. It had the right theme, it had proper aura and look. The gameplay itself just felt mid. Not that just that, but death perception. Dude, that is a perk that should have been combined with Vulture to begin with. I don't have it fully augmented and filed out that way yet. I haven't done that yet. I barely even looked at the augments for it, to be honest. But I can tell you it's probably not that big of a change from what it should have been. It should have been a combination of what it originally was. Death perception is a part of Vulture. They just cut it out of Vulture and made it a new perk. They should have never done that. I still love like the augments and perk systems for the new CODs that have been coming out. I think it's brilliant. I think it's a great way of making perks feel better and being able to change up the gameplay. Unfortunately, they are just really lacking in the weapons department, in my opinion. There shouldn't have been just one staff. Even though, yes, the ice staff is everyone's favorite, they should have at least had one other staff, maybe 3 staffs in total, but there's not, and there's nothing we could do about it, and that's okay. I understand this came out maybe a month after Citadel, so I wasn't really expecting too much from them. I thought I was, you know, thoroughly surprised when a new map dropped this fast. I'm just hoping that the next map is bigger by a generally solid amount, as well as more in-depth in the weaponry ideas, I guess. I have no problem with them repeating weapons from way back then that were solid and good. I have a problem when they do it in a bad way, I guess, because even in this, in ways, unless you're using the super version, like the upgraded ice staff with the super, where you hold it down and it releases the super version of the weaponry, you know, with the bullet tree, whatever, where it does the whole tornado thing. I don't think it does the normal ice staff any good, in my opinion, because that thing could one-tap any zombie, whether it was doing the super ability or the standard one-shot ability. It didn't really matter. That thing was killer. Overall, I'd say like this is probably like maybe a 6.3 out of 10 birria tacos. You know, I'm not gonna really sit here and shit on it too much, and because of what it was, what I expected, and part of it, that rating is because it's a smaller map, but because of that, I'm going to have to give it an automatic, you know, little slight jump. I'm gonna label it a 6.7 because I have to upgrade the level, because it is exactly what we were told was coming out. It's going to be a 6.7 out of 10 birria tacos with a side of gabagool. To each their own. You could sit there and decide if you want to continue playing this map. That's all right. That's fine. There's no problem with that. I understand. It's a decent looking map. And if you're playing solo, it's probably fine because you have a guaranteed ice staff no matter what. Is it still a pain in the ass to upgrade? Absolutely. But the ice, like the staffs in general, were a pain in the ass when they first came out. So it's probably really just something to get used to over time. So if you liked the video, like, subscribe. Comment if you didn't like it, like, subscribe, and comment. Tell me why you didn't like it, what I missed, what I didn't miss. I appreciate you guys coming by. Y'all have a great day, night, and or evening. Let me know if I missed on something at all, I appreciate you. Also, we got to 137 subscribers recently. I just want to give a big thank you to everyone who started following and all of that. I've done a lot more streams on YouTube in general for the most part, so hopefully you all like that. Let me know if you watch the streams, if you stop by. If you don't stop by, that's alright as well, but I've been streaming a lot more on YouTube. Come by sometime. We're generally playing zombies for the most part, unless I'm playing Madden or something else, but generally it's custom zombies a lot of the time these days. I hope you guys enjoyed the video though. Have a great day, night, and or evening. Remember, like and subscribe and comment. Peace out.